What's up, guys? This is Coach Donny with ElevateYourself.org. Welcome to Haikyuu Season 2, Episode 1. If you're new to this channel, I'm a volleyball coach, volleyball player, and personal trainer that provides volleyball tutorials, jump training videos, and other cool volleyball content. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more content. I wanted to wish everyone a happy Lunar New Year. In Chinese culture, we celebrate Chinese New Year for 2 weeks to celebrate the first new moon of the lunar calendar, which started on February 12th. 2021 is the year of the ox, which symbolizes strength, reliability, fairness, and inspires confidence in others. They believe strongly in themselves, but are also stubborn and hate to fail or be challenged. I was actually born on the year of the ox in 1985, so the description is quite fitting. I would like to say to everyone, Gong Hei Fat Cui, which means wishing you great happiness, wealth, and prosperity, and Sun Nin Fai Lok, which means Happy New Year. I'm also excited to announce our newest release of the Elevate Apparel Pride series, which is also inspired by Chinese New Year. In honor of Chinese New Year, I'm offering a 15% discount off the Pride long sleeve and Pride t-shirt through February 19th. These two items will arrive in 3 to 4 weeks, so please be patient with these orders. I will no longer be releasing 2 Haikyuu reaction videos per week because I was getting a little burnt out toward the end of Season 1. I want to make sure that I still enjoy watching Haikyuu and my reactions are as authentic as possible. So I'll be releasing 1 reaction video per week, so make sure that you subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell so you never miss a video. Many of you have been hyping up Season 2, so I can't wait to watch it. Now let's get this Haikyuu party started. Ooh, starting off with the boom. Of course, with the flashback of the game from the previous season. Ooh, is this a spike coming from Asahi? No, the ball's moving away from the block. I think this is when they got blocked. Man, that's a beautiful animation with the ball spinning and the auditorium. Oh man, you feel that, man. That was definitely one of the more traumatic moments from the previous season. 33-31. And then see the other team celebrating in the background as you're still staring at the ball. Like, did that really happen? Yeah, really cool cutscenes of everyone setting up the net. Finally, Hinata and Kageyama might actually be seeing eye to eye now. I think this is the new intro. And of course, Hinata's running. He's always running or biking somewhere. And he still runs on the court too. I miss listening to J-pop. Who's that new person, the new blonde person with short hair? Looks like a girl. A new team manager? Great diving technique. In order to dive safely, you have to essentially do a reverse push-up. So once you pass the ball, right, the whole point is to actually get the ball off the floor. You put your platform out, and as soon as you pass it, you spread your arms and bend your elbows, and you use your arms to decelerate your body so that you don't hit the floor super hard. And I actually have a tutorial on how to dive safely and effectively, and I'll leave that volleyball tutorial in the description box so you guys can learn how to dive. And there's some drills you can do at home to practice this. But this animation illustrates very well how to properly dive. Of course, Hinata's gonna continue to hurt himself because he's just going wild. Yeah, who is this person? Sailor Moon. Ooh, this is a really cool camera angle. Look at those people. Ah, from Nikoma. They look a little more wrinkly. They look kind of odd. And Tanaka's getting in on the back row action. And a girls team. That'd be cool. I hope they release a Haikyuu with the girls team from Karasuno. It's an unsynchronized bow. Ooh, that was cool. Seeing Kageyama transition into Hinata. I miss seeing Hinata with that pose jumping in the air at the end of the intro. Nice receive it! Of course, Hinata running on the court again. Tanaka's ready. Ooh, crushed it. Maybe I should start saying that on the court. Yeah, sound like a dying old man. Left off. And a little off the net too. Ooh, all that power into the hand. What's interesting about this image is that Kageyama is positioned all the way to the antenna. So it's rare that a blocker will go all the way to the antenna unless you think the hitter is actually going to hit down the line. But even then, it's very rare that people can hit that line consistently. So usually as a blocker, what you want to do is you want to position your body so that it's about half a meter or a third of a meter away from the antenna, because you want to take away a higher percentage of the spike. And if you do see them turning line, then you can actually reach a little bit to your right to take away the line. The only way a team would do this if you are pre-committing or committing ahead of time to blocking the line if they're really killing you on that type of hit. And they're practicing with a new ball. Oh, good hustle from everybody. And Coach Ukai is pleased. Oh, he had a funny sound there. Ooh, even Tsuki looks a little intense. The tip, but Nishinoya is going to be right behind him. I bet you he's not going to let it drop again. Oh! Ball dropped. Tsuki's trash talk. Starting to like it. This is Shimada. No, this is not Shimada. Ah, I give up. I forgot this guy's name already. He's the one with the jump float. Oh, that's a crossing pattern. If you guys watched my last video where I talked about the best moments and fan FAQ questions, someone asked what is my prediction for the next episode, and I said that they would probably show some more crossing patterns, which are very popular in Asian style volleyball, but specifically in Japanese high school volleyball. You see a lot of great videos of these very skilled high school teams doing these very intricate crossing patterns. And here you see Hinata going in for the quick to the left, and then Tanaka, I combined their name, Tanaka going in for a higher ball slightly behind them. And then eventually you draw with no blocker up. And Nishinoya is pleased. Oh, what kind of set was that? Oh, Nishinoya set him. Loading. They look super motivated. Probably because they had that huge Japanese meal. Ooh, that's a good jump float, no spin. Ooh, cover from Daichi. Hinata going in for another hit. That's crazy. Okay, we gotta talk about that one. That was a lot of action so far in this practice scrimmage. So what's happening here is I think Hinata is spiking on the right side of the net. He gets blocked, Daichi covers him, and then as soon as he lands, he's already running to the opposite side of the court on the left side, and then hitting a quick set, not just a high ball, a quick set on the left side, which is pretty crazy to run that much in a play, but also to be that quick enough to hit this type of hit. And you see that he's leaning slightly to the side because he's just having to run so fast in transition. Now, why are there no blockers up? Because this is borderline unrealistic. I would say it is possible if you're incredibly fast, but you'll see that the blockers can't even make it there, because as soon as they block on their landing, they see this guy running over there, and they probably know that they can't catch up to it, so that's why there's no block. Nonetheless, it's a pretty cool play. It takes a lot of energy though. You don't want to do that all game because you're going to get burnt out. もう一回. Yeah, I remember that feeling in high school. Ooh, but people are hungry. Look at that. Only person who's not looking at the coaches, it's Suki, because he's probably already studying what he's gonna do. Oh, I love it. Kageyama's like, yeah, definitely we're gonna work on it. I love that commitment. Sensei, what happened to him? Is that the inter-high school or the spring tournament? The stage of the little giant? He keeps talking about that. That was a gross sneeze. Oh, they're going to Tokyo to do a scrimmage. Fukuro Donny. He's got some snot coming down his nose, not blood. So this is a group of high schools that have been practicing against each other for a couple years, and they want to keep that circle tight. His name, probably associated with his grandfather's name. He's still got snot running down his nose. This is actually true also in the United States. When we're planning our preseason games or scrimmages or summer competitions, it's really important to stay on good terms with other schools and to communicate on a regular basis and to uphold these yearly traditions that let's meet up together to scrimmage and to practice together to make each other better regardless of how good our teams are, because it's about the relationships that you build that end up making both of your teams stronger. So it's really interesting to see that the same thing happens in Japan as it does in the US. このチャンス I'm starting to recognize the word chance. That setup in person. Maybe he's talking about the... It's the third time he's talking about Nekoma. Maybe that's a way to beat a team, is to keep talking about them until they sneeze, until they get a cold. City Boy Alliance. Oh, I thought instead of Tanaka's twin sneezing, he gets all fired up. I love this excitement. They are so ready to get the revenge on Nekoma. Yeah, they probably have to get things approved by the school, get transportation, talk to their teachers. Tanaka's not throwing Hinata up in the air. Ooh, Shimizu's going. Who's that blonde girl? Are they gonna cry now that she spoke? I guess not. Oh, so here she is. Oh, maybe it's not her. Oh, Shimizu. Ah, she's doing some recruiting, huh? She's the best person to send for recruiting for a boys team. So you get to hang out with me if you join the boys volleyball club team. I like Kageyama's reaction there. Had a little furrow of the brow. The National League. I wonder what that is. Is that the professional league? Ooh, that's cool. If we're gonna hit it until it breaks. So badass. Oh yeah, they lost to Shiojizawa. He's gonna rip the magazine. I love that. Ah, is this the lefty they've been talking about? Japan! Ushiwaka, is that the youth national team? Ooh. So we get to see somebody who's featured on the youth national team. Ushiwaka. The intense music has been initiated. That means it's getting serious. Look at all the serious faces. And Daichi, they're getting pumped up for running. Man, everyone's so motivated in this episode. I love it. And it makes a lot of sense. Uh-oh. Are those poor report cards? Or are they falling behind in school because of volleyball and he has to give them the bad news? He's repeating a mantra. I wonder what he's... Unless, hopefully he's getting nervous about them doing well in the competition, the practice tournament that they're going to enter. Okay, this is the way you train running for volleyball. Hill sprints. I've mentioned before that jogging is not good training for volleyball because volleyball is an explosive sport. You're resting and then you're sprinting and jumping and you're doing things that require high speeds for short amounts of time. So if you practice too many movements that are low speed for a long period of time, like light jogging, then it's going to train your nervous system to continue to fire in that pattern, and that's going to translate onto the court. So if you do too many slow movements off the court for training, you're going to become slower on the court in general. Jogging for warm-up for 5-10 minutes is okay, but doing it for extended sessions like 30 to 60 minutes a couple times a week is going to condition your body to be good at jogging and not good for explosive movements. So hill sprints for maybe 5 to 10 seconds is great training for volleyball. Even shorter spurts, which I actually recommend more, going closer to the 3 to 5 second range. Not only does it build that explosive speed, but it makes it more challenging on your body, so it's going to develop some of those leg muscles. Now, before you go out and do a bunch of hill sprints, it's really important to first be in the right condition. Make sure you can do actual horizontal sprints first at a comfortable pace and is okay in your body. Because if you go straight into hill sprints and you haven't been working out, you're going to get what we call shin splints, which are sharp pain sensations along the shins, and those take a while to heal. So always ease into exercise. Don't go 100% from 0%, because it's just going to lead to injury. So I'm happy to see that they're actually doing some volleyball appropriate exercises. Yoi! Japanese sounds awesome. I love it. Run like you mean it. Everyone's got the same shoes on. They got all team white shoes. Looks like Asics. Oh, here we go. These guys are always racing. I love it. Here we go. Those guys are so funny. Oh, they're going beyond. They're going beyond the point they're supposed to stop. How many takes did it take for these actors to do that? Yeah. Their voice must be burnt after this. They're lost. Oh, that's funny. The seagulls are calling them idiots. Back to fighting. Oh, that's so funny. Ah, they might walk by the school and check out their practice at Shirotozawa. Oh, is that the Ushiwaka? Ooh, he looks older. He looks pretty cool. He's a good-looking guy. Oh, that would get some spiking into the bottle. Got it. This scene looks pretty cool. Gotta do this one. Japan! Yeah, he was definitely more developed in his body. Makes sense why he's... Did some recon at Shirotozawa. But he's probably going to respect that because he wants them to be prepared to push them to have good competition. And he's got a low voice. See, good competition is not afraid of scouting. I like this guy. He's a straight shooter. I love the belief of Kageyama and Hinata. This guy's the Terminator. Super badass. I like him. If you guys ever take an animation class, the ball bounce is the first thing you're going to learn, and then a running cycle is the second animation as a fundamental animation that you're going to learn. And it's actually really, really hard to animate somebody jogging. You would think that'd be easy because you just animate the legs and they just go in circles, but it ends up looking too cartoon-like. So a couple of things to appreciate about the jogging animation is the rhythm of the body bouncing up and down. Because when you're jogging, your knees bend and then they extend. So your body is actually going up and down. And then the shoulders have to go up and down at a certain rhythm. And then you have your arms sway back and forth. And then you have to synchronize that with the knee going forward. And then does the foot go in front of the knee? Is it under the knee? Is it behind? So there's a lot of really interesting considerations you have to observe when you're animating these really intricate jogging sequences. So we got to appreciate that for a moment because they do a very good job at that in Haikyuu. I almost called this Hinata, but they do a very good job of all the animation in general, but specifically these jogging sequences are very well done. And then I just realized that they have to animate the waving of the clothing. So this is super advanced animation, by the way. Let's watch that again. We gotta appreciate this jogging. And the fact that the clothes is wrinkling, that I could not do that. I could do the other aspects, but having the clothing wrinkle on top of that is mind-blowing. Ushiwaka's like, who are these idiots? But I think he indirectly respects them because he's thinking like, well, these guys want to compete, so why not? Why is this school so much bigger? Is this like a sports-specific school? Is this a top school? Wow, they have a polo team? And they have their own volleyball bus. This is their dream. I love it that they're going on their own little adventure. This is so cute. Man, they're gonna be... What if they get invited to actually scrimmage on the spot? That'd be cool. Oh, this is the perfect view. Oh, they're playing against college students. Yeah, that's the only way for them to get better is to play against better competition. And if they're best in high school, they gotta play up. He's still very polite. I like it. Ah, he's been keeping tabs on the talented players. Ah, he wasn't accepted because he wasn't a team player. I hope that's the reason. What's his analysis? Oh, that's a spit in Kageyama's face. I was a little confused at first as to what Ushiwaka meant by saying you got rejected because you can't serve the ace. I'm assuming he meant because he didn't think he was a good enough setter to set him, but Oikawa is good enough to set him. That's my interpretation. I'm curious if that's what it actually means. Ah. I like how Ushiwaka is sharing his knowledge. His coat's waving, so dramatic. So, Oikawa is the one that is fertilizing his team, making everyone look more amazing than they are. Yeah, that's a special skill. Are we concrete or something? He's challenging his analogy. It's like, what are we? Those are cat eyes. He's gonna catch it. Oh, he knows gonna get to there. Oh, that was so sick. Oh man, this is starting to look like Naruto. That was pretty badass. Kageha's like, yeah, that's my boy. Oh, from concrete. I love it. Man. What I love about Hinata and Kageyama is their belief. And a lot of people ask me, how do you develop self-confidence? How do you defeat teams that are better than you? Honestly, belief is like 90% of it. And to prove this point, I've coached athletes that have zero volleyball experience. They might come from other sports, but they just believe in themselves that doesn't matter what's in their way, they can overcome it. Doesn't matter where the ball is, I believe I can get every ball. It doesn't matter who's in front of me, I believe I can get every kill. And belief just goes such a long way. And yes, you do need skill, because at some point you're going to have to touch the ball, right? And I would say that skill should be a refinement of your belief, meaning that belief is like a foundation of how you approach the game and how you approach yourself. And skill should be an expression of that belief. A lot of times we go the other way around. We view skill as the foundation, and then we view belief as the refinement of skill or an afterthought of skill. So how do you practice belief? Just like any other skill, it takes practice to mentally think positive and affirming things about yourself, or you have to speak those things about yourself. I can do this, right? This is something that a lot of the great professional athletes do. They do a lot of self-talk. They say, I can do this, you got it, crush it, things like that, right? And once you start verbalizing it here, you start verbalizing it here, and then it comes out physically. But it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice to develop self-confidence. It's nothing magical. It's just we focus so much on the physical habits that we forget to develop the verbal and the mental habits. Oh, the seagull? Is that a seagull and a crow? Seagull's not a cool bird, so it must be a falcon or something. Oh, that's probably Ushiwaka and Hinata flying. A falcon or an eagle? The staff member. This guy's huge. It's taller than Kageyama. Oh yeah. You know who's going to surpass him with the wavy hair. I love that even though they are confident and standing up to him, they're still incredibly respectful. That's very Japanese. Fighting spirit. I love it. Now he's excited about the competition. He's like, finally, we have some opponents that want it just as much as me. Yeah, even the way they're walking is walking with some swag. And the team is probably so worried, wondering if I was the captain or the coach, I'd be worried my butt off, wondering where they are. Ooh, Kageyama, they're still thinking about the conversation. Uh-oh. I love how the music just stopped right there. That's funny. Oh no. Oh man, that sucks. Okay, we got a new outro, so I'm gonna watch this one. Even the quality of animation is even better than season 1. There's a long scene of a flying crow. That looks like it's from the manga. Hinata is just always running. Is it just me, or is he always running? And I love it. We got Kageyama working on his jump serve. Okay, another small detail. Going back to the jogging animation. If you notice that Hinata is actually leaning forward when he's jogging, and Kageyama is more upright. That's an interesting personality distinction, even the way that they're jogging. My guess is that because Hinata's shorter, he has to take more strides and he has to keep running faster just to keep up with a taller person like Kageyama. Well, let's watch this jogging sequence again and you'll see what I mean. So he's upright and then Hinata's having to lean forward. Tsuki's upright. Tanaka flex. I like Tanaka more and more every episode. Ooh, and then Nishinoya is super exaggerated because he has to take longer strides just to keep up with everybody, being the shortest player. Ooh, Ushiwaka. And Tanaka's just waving his arms around just because he's a crazy guy. Is he reaching up? I guess I like this outro music better than the older one. That was a cool scene. Here are my immediate thoughts to episode 1. It started off with a bang, of course with that traumatic experience of losing that close game to Seijo, but then immediately jumping into this highly motivated practice game, and it was really cool to see how you ended with the scene of the team crying and eating together and still sulking about that game, and then their coach encouraging them to refuel and re-nourish the body because we got work to do. We still have lots of games to play and we have another big tournament to prepare for later in the season. So he gave his team time to really absorb that loss and didn't tell them to forget about it, because that's the worst thing you could tell to an athlete that really suffered from a tough loss. You never want to tell them to get over it. And the reason why they take it so personally is because they put in so much time and they're emotionally and mentally invested in that competition. So let your athletes go through the emotions of the sadness and the anger and the frustration and help them process it if you're a coach. And then make sure you immediately direct them to looking forward and moving on to bigger and better things. I'm excited to see what this practice competition is going to be about with all these different teams. And I'm starting to like the idea of meeting all these different teams. Initially, I didn't like it because I just wanted to focus on Karasuno, and I felt like it was a little confusing in the beginning. But I'm beginning to learn that every team has its own personality, and watching this anime makes me really feel like I'm actually there and bringing back all these old memories and emotions of when I was competing in high school. And I couldn't wait to go to another tournament to see what other players are doing and talk about this team and to get excited to just see other volleyball teams out there. So they do such a good job of capturing that naive excitement of a young high school volleyball player. I'm glad I finally got to meet Ushiwaka. Before, we just saw clips of him being this imposing figure that Oikawa was always talking about, but they did a great job animating him. He does have like a better built stature. He's taller, he's thicker, more muscular. He has a deep voice, he has a chiseled face, and even the way he talks, he's very dedicated to his craft of being the best volleyball player he could be. He's a little bit cocky, but not in a way that is for the sake of just being a douchebag. The type of cockiness he has is more matter of fact, like, yeah, we're the best team and I'm the best player, and we need someone that can complement my team, and we need someone who can actually set me if we want to continue to be champions. So I'm curious if he's going to continue to maintain kind of that more level-headed cockiness, or if he's just going to be straight up a douchebag. But we'll see. And I think it's funny how Hinata keeps referring him to Japan, because he plays for the youth national team. But I know for me, I would be just as enamored if I met someone who played for the Youth USA national team at his age, so I totally get it. You guys were so right, and that season 2 is action-packed and super exciting. I actually noticed an improvement in their animation, and it's not that their animation was bad in the previous season, but there seems to be a little bit more detail, a little bit better proportions in terms of the body proportions. And man, the camera work is just really great with the ball moving, and that an opening scene where the camera was panning the entire gym as the ball was spinning. That's incredibly hard to do, to get the perspective right, and the action sequences seem even more sharp and smooth. So I wonder if they hired a new animator or they just got better at animating. So I'm glad to see that Haikyuu did not lower the quality just because they were getting more famous at that time. I got a little nervous at the end when the team was talking about the exams that they have to pass, and if they don't pass their subjects, then they can't travel to away games, because I think that's foreshadowing someone on Karasuno that is going to have to miss a game or two because they're not going to do well on a test. And my guess is that Hinata is not the most focused student in the classroom, so he might be the guy that might have to sit out due to some poor grades. But we'll have to see. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for episode 2. We'll see you guys next time.